first for local news, KOMO4 News.
Thousands of protesters, Secret Service agents, and high-profile business meetings. A jam-packed day for the highest-ranking Vietnamese leader to visit the U.S. since the war. He'll be at the White House for a meeting with President Bush later this week. But today, Western Washington is playing host to Vietnam's Prime Minister. One item on his agenda was a visit to the Boeing plant in Renton. That's where KOMO4's George Howell picks up our top story.
And Molly, good evening. The Prime Minister came to this country focused on building better relationships with companies like Boeing and Microsoft, all because he says his country has come a long way since the war. But many protesting in Seattle's Vietnamese community tell me they don't buy it. In his trip to increase future trade with the United States, the Prime Minister of Vietnam could not help but be reminded of the past.
Vietnam is still a country under an authoritarian regime where they deny human beings their basic right.
Phan Khai and his entourage of business leaders avoided protesters for the most part. Taking a tour of the Boeing plant in Renton, the Prime Minister intends on signing a deal to buy 4 Boeing 787s for the state-owned Vietnam Airlines before returning to his home country. He also honored the request of a Vietnamese family on the east side who wrote a letter requesting that he stop by. It wasn't until Phan Khai met with the press to talk about his trip and answer questions that the Prime Minister was put on the spot.
It's a free country. I should ask a question and they lie. It's a free country. You guys lie. Hold on. Don't touch me. Don't touch me, okay? Don't touch me. It's a free country. It's not Vietnam, okay? Don't touch me.
Ben Hoa Quens was asked to step outside.
I speak for people who cannot speak in Vietnam.
Phan Khai ended the press conference, claiming his country has made significant strides over the last 30 years. But opponents say it's merely posturing to improve trade.
But when you trade with a barbaric system like Vietnam, you enrich and you help that system to oppress the people.
America respect the human rights and democracy. Viet Cong, they don't respect, people. So they better not come here. They're not welcome.
The Prime Minister will leave Seattle bound for Washington, D.C., where he will meet Tuesday with President Bush. His goal in all of this is to gain U.S. support to become part of the World Trade Organization. Reporting live in Renton, George Howell, KOMO4 News. Molly, back to you.
Thank you, George.